Hello, Andrea from Berlin, Andrea Bury. Welcome to Shift Happens.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, me too. Me too. We know so many people in common and have somehow crossed our paths quite a bit as we found out, but we've never met. So it's wonderful to see you here.
Yeah.
And before we start, I want to ask you some questions.
Mhm.
Apple or oranges?
Apple.
Still or sparkling?
S- ah, I actually like to mix
Okay. Um, Ice cream or sorbet?
ice cream.
Can you say something or do you remember something that really made you laugh this week?
Um, Actually, yes. Yesterday evening we were um, at an event and we talked about religion and about yeah the three like monotheistic religions. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
and one of the people in the round, like they said monogam
Oh, okay.
instead of monotheistic.
This
And
is
that was like so funny, you know. It was a really nice
in the
culture.
context of religion, particularly. Yes.
Exactly. Like, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this season six of Shift Happens, we're talking yes about shifts, but I'm talking to women who all at some point decided and pivoted into a career or on a path where they decided to use their skills to do something good. And and you've done luckily the same, which is great because I read your bio and you seem to be a whirlwind and a real doer. And I think leaders with impact are really, really needed in this field. So, and you also said that you kind of moved away from a men's world and not out of hate.
No, no, no,
No,
not
no,
at all.
not at all.
Be
But
honest.
maybe
Yeah.
you can speak about a little bit about this bridge that you crossed from
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
started and then when you decided that you want to take on a different path.
Yeah. Um, well, yeah. First, thank you for inviting me. I think it's a really great podcast and also opportunity that you give to women to shine a light on us.
Thank
So
you.
that's really great.
Hmm.
And um, and we both started, I think, at the same environment, like 30 years ago, like marketing, sponsoring, PR, sports, and so I was at Formula One events, tennis, sports sponsoring, lifestyle, entertainment. Lots of fun, and a lot of environments male driven. But still, I have to say, like I said before, I had also a lot of really great male mentors.
Hmm.
So they actually pushed me in my career and often thought that I was capable of things that I didn't think I was able to do. So
Hmm.
that's also a good thing about men that they sometimes see something in you that you don't see yourself.
Hmm.
But then, having said that, like especially the Formula One years, like 2 years I spent there, I thought I want to use my skills for something different, like
Hmm.
more with more positive impact in the world.
Hmm.
And so I started first thinking about um, sustainable events. Yeah.
Hmm.
And now I'm talking about more than 20 years ago. And so at that time, it was still something new,
Yeah.
or
Hmm.
like, yeah. And, but then I also felt that's not enough. And with my ex-husband together, we then decided we wanted to create a think tank. And we moved to Marrakech because we thought that's a great place to have
Hmm.
something like an a location where you can think about the future because it brings so many different influences together. You
Mhm.
see the donkey cart next to the SUV. You have the covered woman next to the woman in high heels and mini skirt. You have the 10th golf course next to the village without water. So
Mhm.
there are a lot of things that inspire you to think about the environment. And to make a long story short, I moved there and lived in Marrakech for 3 years,
Mhm.
between 2007 and 10. And I think that's the biggest shift I made
Mhm.
in my life. Because first of all, it's a completely different culture. And so you are for the first time like the foreigner in a
Mhm.
country.
Mhm.
And well, I have lived in the UK before and in France, but it's still Europe. You don't
Mhm.
feel so foreign as when you get into like an African or Arabic country. At least for me, it was like this.
Mhm.
And and then you
How
start,
how
yeah.
was how was it? How was it to establish your life there?
To be honest, it wasn't easy for me to
Mhm.
first like understand the different codes to also accept them because this is what we always say like okay, people come here, they should accept our codes. Now I go there, I want to accept or learn about their culture and their codes.
Mhm.
And then it there are a lot of like little fights inside yourself because
Mhm.
on the one hand you kind of tell yourself, well, this is the culture you're now living in, and like try to understand, like try to where they come from, be open, be tolerant, and at the same time, you think like, okay, why is this man not shaking my hand? Why is he not looking in my eyes? Why are there no women selling things because they're not allowed to be outside the home? Like
Mhm.
so, it's a lot of like I got really involved in all of these thoughts, like
Mhm.
and also asking like what's right, what's wrong, why do I think this way, what's my socialization, where do I come from?
Mhm.
Now I have this thinking, but is it really the right thinking? Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know
Well, it's always good to be outside of your own comfort zone, right?
yeah.
It actually does a lot of good.
Yeah, exactly, I think so too. Like, but what happened is that like for the first month or even a year, I actually was very passive. I was like mostly observing. I
Mhm.
tried to learn and understand. I joined a youth organization. It's Rotarakt, which is the youth organization of the Rotary Club. They also
Mhm.
exist there. And and they work with villages. So I just joined them. Like when
Mhm.
they went to give clothes or books or food or Ramadan packages to kind of learn how how it works,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
how does the culture work. And at the same time I read a lot of studies
Mhm.
about gender gap. Like one of my favorite studies is the World Gender Gap Report of the World Economic Forum.
Mhm.
I think it's super interesting. And and I learned that Morocco, like since they started to do the analysis, Morocco is always in the top 10 from behind. So after
Mhm.
Morocco, you have Yemen, Afghanistan, Mali, um, and so I thought, okay, why is that?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So this is how my thinking started, and actually there was like a certain point that I just thought I was so lucky to be born as a woman in, let's say, Europe,
Mm-hmm.
with all the opportunities where I had so many choices
Mm-hmm.
of what I can wear, what I can learn.
Yeah.
At
What
least
what
there
we
are the
take
options.
what we take for granted.
Exactly. Like,
Mm.
and then I obviously I met a lot of women on my path, and they are they are great. They are funny.
Of
They're
course.
bright. And the only thing is they have never been asked, "What's your dream in life?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what do you want to become?"
Mm-hmm.
Because it's clear, like you marry the cousin of da da da, and then you have some kids and a nice household and
Mm-hmm.
be with your friends
Mm-hmm.
if everything goes well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
So
and
that was the big aha moment, yeah. So that these women really weren't asked, "What's your
yeah,
dream? What do you really want to do?" Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I did interviews then with women in the villages, and well, with a translator. I don't speak
Mm-hmm.
Arabic,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, but um and I asked them, because we gave them that started very small, like gave them offered them some training in reading and writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked them, like, what do you want to do when you can read and write? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's your... And then they were looking at me and they're like, okay, what does she want to hear? You really could see that they think, what's the right answer to this question?
Mm-hmm.
And they just have never been asked before, like, what's your dream? What do you want to do with your knowledge?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
they just didn't understand what I was asking.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost unthinkable for us, right? To
Yeah.
not have an answer what we want to do with something and so on. But yeah, and then from there on, you really focused on this life, and then you left Marrakesh, but you already had started, right, to build
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Um, Funny enough, like things happen parallel. I started collecting old Berber bags, like hand
Mm-hmm.
embroidered bags that originally were men's bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore them also in Berlin. And then some of my friends asked, like, hey, there's a cool embroidery and cool bags. Like, where did you get it? And then I told the stories of the bags, and um and this is how I actually started selling bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I created Abury and the Abury Foundation as a social business, kind of selling bags and using the money to invest it in schools and education programs on site. That was the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so now, how many years has your foundation been running?
Now it's 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, and I
It
saw
changed a
that,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
And I saw that your work has been recognized internationally, and that you really are a recognized driver of social change. And once you had this capsule, what developed from this?
Yeah. Well, it was definitely, or still is, and probably always will be a great learning experience over all this time, because
Hmm.
like I didn't study development aid or nor fashion. So two industries I had no idea about. But so now with the Abury Foundation, number one, obviously you can never do it by yourself. So the first
Hmm.
thing is find people who share your passion. And I'm lucky, like really lucky enough to have found really amazing women
Hmm.
who share this passion and drive the foundation with me now. And through this, we're now like we employ 8 teachers in Morocco, and we are a team of 7 in Germany.
Hmm.
So we're not big, but we are now like a real group of
Hmm.
people who drive projects
Hmm. Hmm.
and also intercultural development. It's real fun as well.
Hmm. Well, that's great. And the you also started an academy,
Mhm.
and and that is particularly focusing on young women, right? On girls like about to leave school.
Yeah, actually, we have 2 academies.
Oh.
So we have one which is in Marrakech, which is called the Abury Hospitality Academy,
Hmm.
and this is a 9 months education program for young women between 18 and 30, mm, to to make the first step into the hospitality and tourism industry. Obviously, tourism is one of the biggest growth factors in Morocco.
Hmm.
Um, in 2030, we have the Football World Cup coming also to Morocco.
Oh,
So
wow.
a lot of investments in hotels and in infrastructure is going to Morocco at the moment as well.
Hmm.
So and what we learned talking to hotels is like they have staff for management. You know, there are a
Hmm.
lot of schools and universities, a lot of obviously also international people running the big hotel chains, but then finding really good trained staff, local
Hmm.
staff
Mm.
for housekeeping, for service,
Yeah.
for flowers, for
Hmm.
like all the things you need in big hotels. That's one of their challenges. And
Mm.
this is when we thought like this is such a great opportunity for women to find an easy step into independence, into the workforce, and not just doing like things in the gray market, but really also be employed, have health insurance, social security,
Hmm.
and these kind of things. And we found partners like the Amangena, Four Seasons, the
Hmm.
Oberoi, and our
Wow.
girls have 6 months education with us, and 3 months they are in internship.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool. I
Yeah.
have to say
And also
it.
it's fun. I mean, it's funny that then in 2030 the World Soccer World Championship, so sports comes back to Marrakesh. Yeah, it's kind of like
Yes,
your circle is closing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm actually really excited about it.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. So by then you have 4 more years, so it's quite a number of young women that you will enable to go down that path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. We started now the first cohort with 15 girls, like
Hmm.
14 got to the final. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and like next semester, we want to double it. And on top, we're currently talking about a bigger investment or funding that we
Hmm.
actually can already train 100 people next year.
Oh,
So that
wow.
would be fantastic if that would come, because then we can scale much quicker.
Have you built like a steady donor base over the years, or are you working with particular, I don't know, donors, companies all the time?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have we have one like we have the Lufthansa Help Alliance
Hmm.
as one of our partners, and who is like really supporting also on a long-term basis.
Hmm.
Um, we had the Deutsche Postcode Lottery Germany for the start, and we are applying for the second cohort as well, and hope we'll get the funding, the ongoing funding from them as well.
Mm-hmm.
On top, we have something like a circle of friends
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
who kind of are supporting on a regular basis and help us keep like the basis running. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
we need the big donors on top. We're also working with GIZ,
Mm-hmm.
like the German um, Gesellschaft for International Collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Society. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, these are our bigger
Yeah,
partners.
that's probably a constant, not place of worry, but I mean,
Yeah, we have
especially nowadays.
yeah, I forgot one thing, and that's actually also really, really cool, is the 25 hours hotels. Um,
Oh.
like yeah, like who knows them? Like one of my partners, she is related to the 25 hours hotels, or was, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like this we convinced them to become partners. And what we
Mm-hmm.
have is like all their hotels, they, for like 2 months a year, they donate housekeeping to us. Like they donate it all the time to different charities. So that's
Mm-hmm.
like their way of giving back.
Mm-hmm.
But Abury and the Abury Hospitality Academy in particular is partner for 2 months a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go to 25 hours, you will be asked if you want housekeeping or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say no, they donate the part that they don't use.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
And that's
great.
actually it sounds like that's a small thing. It's a really big impact that it makes.
Yes,
It's
that's
amazing.
a smart
Yeah.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Mhm.
Very good. And you mentioned that you have another academy.
Yes. This is called the Avery Girls Gearing Up Academy, which is in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we partner with Girls Gearing Up, an NGO which is based in Berlin. They
Mm-hmm.
started the program and we partner since a couple of years. Um, and it's bringing together teenage girls from all over the world and put them in an environment that inspires them and like gives them the empowerment that they believe in themselves. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's especially in these years the most important thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
we go visit Google, Microsoft, RTL. They look behind the scenes. They meet managers, like female managers, obviously,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who tell them how did they become what they are? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are their challenges? What have been the challenges?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and at the same time, we do self-empowerment workshops. How do I speak up, especially in African countries? A lot of the girls, they speak really slow, like really low. You can't even hear them. So we try to make them present and help them
Mm-hmm.
to like raise their voice,
Mm-hmm.
define their dreams, and then they go back. They have an international network, number one, and they are mentored 1 year
Oh.
with digitally, so that we help them to really um, implement their dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
if it is like for themselves learning something, or if it is creating their own girls club in their school, or becoming an ambassador for another foundation, like no matter what, we kind of accompany them. And a lot of them come back and as peer leaders or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's yeah.
That's really
We
fascinating. Hmm.
Yeah, we identified that like the well identified. I think it's very clear that this phase, like before you are in in roles, before you are married or in certain structures, it's like everything is, it's the easiest to change. Yeah,
Hmm.
you to
Hmm.
implement like some seeds in the
True.
heads of the girls, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so that's the best age to actually work with them and see like what how they change.
Hmm.
It's really incredible to see how they blossom when you just like pour a little bit of water on them. It's just like great.
Yeah. And do they keep in touch with you after
Yeah,
this year? And yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We well we obviously have girls who run it and they stay mostly in touch.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, and but we always follow, we give like the Abury Foundation gives also scholarships, especially for Moroccan girls.
Hmm.
And for these girls, we have an alumni circle.
Hmm.
They are connected to each other. Then, whenever there is something that they need, like for example, a year ago, one of the girls is like, "I want to learn coding, and
Hmm.
I cannot afford a laptop." And
Hmm.
then, if we could help her get one, so next time I went to Marrakech, I brought a laptop, an old one recycled, but like empty so she could use it.
Hmm.
And half a year later, she sent me a photo how she was on stage receiving a prize in her age group for a cyber security project.
Ha ha. Wow. That's great. I mean, yeah, those are, the moments you do it for, right? And you live for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, what would you say is a big learning out of this shift and the decision to dedicate your time and your focus to empowering and really do, hands-on, implement hands-on help?
Yeah. Well, learning. I think you like for me it has become it's like really I feel I am exactly where I am meant to be,
Hmm.
you know? So obviously, if you look at it, it's kind of very stressful. You have also a lot of setbacks, obviously. Yeah, like you
Mm.
also start projects that don't turn out as you have imagined them. And then you have to kind of rethink. Um, and not all the girls are always taking everything positively, and
Mm.
you also have to fight with parents. So really we like everyone in Avery, we all love it, and this is why we are resilient.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
of
know what
course.
I
I
mean?
mean, one doesn't think about it, right? When one hears about it, it all sounds, so impactful and amazing. But of course, you have many stones that you can fall over, or yeah.
Yeah, and then what I also learned is it's a lot of bureaucracy.
Hmm.
Like I've become a really, yeah, I know a lot of things now that I never thought I had to know or learn about. It starts with Duan, Zoll,
Oh,
what oh
uh, uh, yes.
what Trump is
I got
currently putting on everyone. Yes,
yes.
like these things. Yeah, no, no. If you
Like
bring things from one country to another, employing people in different countries, like there's
customs,
customs.
customs.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Um, there are so many, yeah, so many things, and but it's interesting.
Hmm.
And I read a lot of laws,
Hmm.
papers,
Hmm.
theoretical papers, um, and but that's interesting. Like for me, it's interesting, and we. we divide the work between like the people who are also hands-on and
Mm-hmm.
on-site.
Mm-hmm.
And we also really strongly believe that it should be run, like the projects in Morocco should be run by Moroccans.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we
Mm.
we we look at ourselves more as like we give a starting point and we empower,
Mm-hmm.
but we like they run it.
Yeah. Great. I mean, that's what is necessary, right? Isn't it like um and teach them how to fish and
Exactly.
then they can self-provide and that's
Yeah.
what everybody wants in the end, right?
Yeah.
To be responsible for yourself and live a fairly independent life.
Yeah.
So that's really great. And what can you name one of the biggest hurdles you had to overcome on this journey? Did you ever think to give up?
No, but I had frustrated moments.
Hmm.
Um, I think after like 5 years, I was thinking like, does it really make sense what I'm doing?
Hmm.
And after 8, I saw the first like changes. And then like it just takes it or it took, at least in my case, it took a long time to see changes that, like I saw changes, like small changes in one person before, but I'm talking about systemic, like
Hmm.
that you see things change. That takes
Hmm.
really longer.
Hmm.
Um, and then obviously building a team because you know you need it and you want it, because it's also much more fun to work together with other people, and not having huge funding.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was at the beginning also a huge um,
Challenge.
yeah, struggle, let's say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that's why I'm saying I'm really lucky to have found like 3 women now in who joined in the board,
Hmm.
and who work pro bono.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all don't work
Necessary.
full time on
Hmm.
Abury,
Hmm.
but we have a governing board, including myself,
Hmm.
uh, who don't like take money out of the foundation.
Hmm.
And either like myself and another woman, they like we work still on the side.
Hmm.
It's funny to
Hmm.
say we work on the side, but
Yeah, because it's because you work so much for this other side. Yeah. Yeah. But I can imagine that it's a field that also brings a lot of joy.
Mhm. Yeah, it does. It's that's why I'm saying I wouldn't want to do anything else. Number one, today now working in this female environment is it's very rewarding, and we are all very nice towards each other, like very respectful, um, also curious, like
Hmm.
learn about the different cultures, because they're like women from completely different backgrounds in the team. and and that's really like we also empower ourselves,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
within the group,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I think that's really nice, and
Hmm.
different age groups, and it's yeah, it's just really beautiful.
Yeah, wonderful. So what
Yeah.
is next for you? Is it the academy in Marrakech that you're just building up, or is there anything else that you have on your agenda?
Yeah, well, obviously we want to grow the academy, hospitality academy in Marrakech, because we see a lot of potential.
Hmm.
Also, in creating a train-the-trainer program so that other foundations could build on our knowledge that we
Hmm.
created in their environments,
Hmm.
because we don't want to actually expand to other cities, but we can imagine that we support other foundations to create something similar.
Mm.
Like,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
one thing that we are working on.
Hmm.
And the other thing, I cannot help it. The World Cup is coming. Obviously, one of my dreams is to create a soccer project with girls
Hmm.
that focuses on health and leadership topics. Because
Hmm.
also, like, diabetes is like one of the biggest health issues in Morocco,
Oh, really?
because they eat so much sugar.
Hmm.
And then still women, especially on the countryside, as soon as they're like, let's say 15, 16, they're not really allowed to wear tight clothes and do sports outside so that men can see them.
Hmm.
So women usually don't do much sports,
Hmm.
um, and they eat a lot of sugar. So the health issue is one thing
Hmm.
that we want to
Hmm.
address with the project, and the next one is obviously team playing.
Hmm.
I think soccer is an amazing team sports
Yeah.
for learning some of the leadership qualities.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Team.
Yeah,
And it doesn't cost much. I mean, all you need is a ball
exactly.
in the end.
So
Yeah.
so that's a dream as well. But we're looking for a sponsor.
Okay, I will also put that into my show notes. We'll shout it out. Okay. Well, I thank you so much. This was such an interesting peek into a world that is yeah, driven by so much passion, and by so much willingness to share with others, and so much willingness to accept struggles and hurdles in what you're doing, but you're doing it. So
Yeah, thank you.
fantastic.
Like I said, it's also very rewarding, and I think, yeah, a really, really great environment to work.
Okay. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for your time and for telling us about the Abury Foundation. And yeah, all the best. And I hope the sponsor will show up very quickly.
Thank you so much, and thank you for also empowering women through your podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.